Before we get started, we want to acknowledge the war and aggression that is taking place in Ukraine. For many of us, including myself, I have felt very far from that physical space, yet incredibly close and connected to that conflict. For this event, we have invited Carnegie Mellon alum Rehan Islam to share some of his experience in his own search for hope in times of challenge. Rehan is a December '07 graduate from the Dietrich College of Humanities and Social Science with a Bachelor of Science in Information Systems. Rehan calls Kiev home, although he and his family are currently displaced due to the conflict. Rehan, I want to share a special and direct thank you from M. Chanel Smith for your words of empowerment and social action. Chanel is not able to be here today due to an out-of-town family obligation. She has shared how special it was to have you as a student here on campus and how much she appreciated your leadership during your time at Carnegie Mellon. Again, thank you for joining us this morning. Please direct your attention to the video, and our formal program will begin following the message. Thank you.
Challenges can lead to despair, but our dreams can inspire the hope we need to change the world towards progress. A month before what would have been my 6-year anniversary living in Kiev, Russia escalated its war against my home, Ukraine. This escalation has posed a challenge for the integrity of democracy worldwide, a challenge for the sovereignty of Ukraine, a challenge for families, mine included, that have fled Ukraine, a challenge for those resisting terror, and most of all, a challenge for parents and children in bomb shelters with limited supplies when they could be struck by artillery at any moment. In the face of such challenges, when anxiety, fear, and risk are at their highest, it can be natural to feel despair. Believe me, when I'm watching videos showing the destruction of cities, when I have in-laws, friends, coworkers still in Ukraine, it's not difficult to feel hopelessness, to think that people I care about might become the next victims of a war crime. To think that such a nightmare can persist, to be angry at those who might not seem to care as much as I do or others do, but such thoughts, when unchecked, they hold back a dream. A dream that everything in Ukraine will always be Ukraine. A dream that my son, just born in Kiev a year ago, can play on the sand by the Dnipro River with me, my wife, and our friends. A dream that Ukraine will usher in a new era of peace and prosperity. A dream that human civilization, hundreds of years from now, will look back knowing that they never again let this nightmare repeat itself. Jiddu Krishnamurti said, "To understand is to transform what is." And this is why autocrats and tyrants believe hope is dangerous. They don't want us to have it. Hope, especially during this nightmare, threatens oppression. That's why I am armed to the teeth with hope. Despite the feelings that try to paralyze me, I'm working to do more. We can all still do so much more by believing in and acting upon a purpose that transcends ourselves and what we're feeling, a purpose that involves making that dream a reality. When pundits painted the bleakest of pictures, that Ukraine would be finished in just a few days, the Ukrainian people defied everyone's expectations because they know the power of hope. The Ukrainian people have inspired me to give others hope. I highlight nonprofits making a real impact because I understand that every bit can make that necessary change. When charities raise funds to support volunteers moving medical supplies, food, clothing, and other essentials to the Ukrainian people, they're giving families and the defenders of Ukraine that additional hope they need to keep going. When a parent protecting their child in a besieged city, has the strength to keep their eyes on the prize and make that split second decision that will end up saving their lives and others, they're inspiring others to keep hope. The smallest of differences can ripple into the biggest ones. That's why I have hope. That's why I won't stop. Everyone needs hope, especially those in grave danger. My son shouldn't have had to have experienced his first birthday outside of Ukraine. But just because my family is outside of immediate danger doesn't mean that others I care about are safe. So I must hope, always. Hope can drive us to change our reality to reflect our dreams. Our detractors want us to lose hope because they recognize the power and potential we have to transcend what tests us, to change the world around us. Keeping one's eyes on the prize is easier said than done, but if every person does their part to give others hope, then we can make that prize, that dream, a reality together.